Hello, sweet honeybees. This video is going to be about how sometimes we make plans and set out to achieve something one day, maybe a few days, and everything just does not align or go as planned. And it's about learning to trust the process. Maybe it's not the right time. Maybe the energy isn't right for it. Maybe there's something else that you should be focusing on. Maybe it's some kind of divine redirection. For the last 2 days, I have really been trying to sit down and record a video, record a podcast episode, but it just hasn't happened. Yesterday, as I tried to sit down to do it, I just got hit with this overwhelming feeling of doom and dread, anxiety. I had woken up feeling just fine in the morning. I went to the grocery store. I was feeling great. I was like, yeah, this blood moon, full moon, eclipse energy. It just all hit me at once when I sat down to record. So I was like, okay, today is not the day. The energy isn't right. So I woke up this morning feeling like it's a new day. I'm going to get this done. I'm going to accomplish what I set out to accomplish. Well, it is now almost midnight. I still haven't accomplished anything that I set out to accomplish today. I woke up feeling really good this morning. I sat outside. I did a prayer bucket. I cooked myself a nice breakfast to start the day. I put on some makeup, make myself feel good, and then I started messing around with my microphone so I could record this video. I also repaired my hat because I'm going to wear my hat, my fancy festival hat, whenever I record it. But I sat down to start, and right as my camera is counting down, my doorbell rings. It's a door-to-door salesman, but I had a conversation with this guy. I normally am very adamant about I'm not interested, I don't have time for this, but I actually gave this guy the time of day. So, I don't know. Maybe I was avoiding doing it. Maybe I was trusting my intuition and I was meant to have the conversation. We had this nice conversation about things that weren't even relevant to what he was trying to sell me. And he was a really, really nice guy. I hope that by getting me to sign up for a window inspection helps him get a good review on his job performance, because they're always in the neighborhood. And I know that most people in the neighborhood are just like, no solicitors, bye. After he left, I'm just thinking to myself, I really don't want to do this. Like, I don't want to do this window inspection tomorrow because I know that I'm not interested. I know I don't have money for something like that right now. I sit back down to record this video. My phone rings. It's my neighbor. She is telling me that her daughter is being admitted into the hospital and that she has to work tomorrow and she needs help with her daughter, and she was asking me if I could sit at the hospital with her so she could go to work. I agreed. By the time I got off the phone with my neighbor, it was time to have dinner. So I paused to eat, and I almost forgot that I had planned this phone call with one of my new friends from this peer support meeting. We ended up talking on the phone for 3.5 hours because it was this very intriguing, interesting conversation about like spirituality, past lives, near-death experiences. But because of that, I haven't really had time all day to record this video. And it's another day where I'm feeling kind of down on myself because I set out to do something that I didn't accomplish. And it's just like, what have I even done with my day? Maybe that's just not what I'm meant to be focusing on right now. I don't know. I'm at this point where I have this idea and I'm feeling a lot of this imposter syndrome, which I guess is contributing to my anxiety. And I don't want to be creating when my energy is messed up like this. And so I'm just trying to trust the process and the uncertainty of all of it. And the funny thing is, when I got off the phone, right before I got off the phone, as I was making my nightly tea, I like to use those yogi teas because the tags always have like little messages on them. Well, I decided to make a tea called Breathe Deep tonight because while we were on the phone, we were talking about how sometimes we forget to breathe. And this tag says, "The unknown is where all outcomes are possible. Enter it with grace." Maybe this is an incubation period where I shouldn't be pushing myself because sometimes moments of pause can be where clarity is found. I mean, you think of meditation and stillness, and we get these epiphanies, these enlightenments that take place when we slow down and we're still for a moment. I've been putting all of this pressure on myself to go, 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 go when I feel like I've already accomplished a lot so far this year. I've lost 4 pounds. I launched my website. I've already edited my website. I put together the expose on my family. I've been going to the gym regularly. I have been putting myself out there more. I've been doing more reels, just kind of sharing my thoughts on Facebook. I've been doing a lot, and I've been putting all of this pressure on myself that has just been making me feel like nothing I do is good enough, which is affecting my ability to create and my ability to flow, which is part of what's creating all of this anxiety within me, on top of all of the stuff that's going on in the world right now. You know, this is a world that isn't designed for us to be successful in. I feel like a failure all the time. But this world is designed to make things difficult and to make things challenging, and that's not a character flaw with me when I have been putting in all of this effort and trying. Maybe spirit has just been trying to get me to slow down and recognize that, and to rest, and to realize that I can't pour from an empty cup. So tomorrow, while I'm at the hospital, I'm just going to take some time to reflect, read a book, because I started a new book and I've only read 1 chapter in the last week. When I'm trying to read at least a book a month, I'm already 1 book up, which is good. That's another thing that I've done. Like, reading is time consuming, and I've literally read 3 books so far this year. And I don't do audiobooks. I like to physically read the book. I just need to be softer on myself. I need to be more patient on myself and realize that life already has enough pressure on me. I don't have to put so much pressure on myself either, because pressure can create diamonds, but things can also crack under pressure. It's all about finding balance. I've just been really unbalanced and feeding into this, I have to be productive. My worth is valued by my productivity, when that isn't true at all. I'm very grateful I have a support system in my life that is very patient with me and that supports my ideas, my goals, and my dreams. And I'm making these valuable connections, and things are coming together even if it doesn't seem like it. It's all about learning to trust the process, because life is just this unfoldment. Every little moment is a tiny little piece of the puzzle, and it doesn't always make sense. You don't always see how things fit together as they're being placed into our lives, but in the end, you start to see the vision take shape. You start to see this beautiful picture that your life is supposed to be. It's about enjoying the journey, not focusing so much on the destination that you lose track of the present moment, because ultimately the present moment is all that we have. The past no longer exists. The future is a figment of our imagination. Worrying about the past creates depression. Worrying about the future creates anxiety. Neither of those things are conducive to your well-being and your happiness here in the present moment. If any of that makes sense to anyone out there. Well, I'm going to try to get some sleep because I got to be up early to go to the hospital, and it is already late, but my neighbor has been so kind helping me out with my dogs over the last year as I've been traveling for music festivals. So it is the absolute least that I can do to help her out with her daughter while she's in the hospital dealing with some stuff. It is the next day. I have been at the hospital all day long on 2 hours of sleep. I just wanted to come back to this video because everything clicked today. Why I've been struggling. Everything that we need is given in divine timing, and it's all about learning to trust the process and have patience, because a lot of things surfaced today about my own story, which is related to the episode that I wanted to record, and the advocacy that I want to bring forth into this world, and it's relevant to personal things that I'm dealing with right now and things that I'm witnessing within the world. And I know exactly what I want to record an episode about. Instead of rushing into this episode and having things all planned out, my anxiety about working that way has actually allowed me to step into this flow where I am trusting the universe, spirit, the divine redirection that what I'm meant to be talking about will surface when it's meant to surface. And that's exactly what happened today. So if you are ever setting out to do something and it just feels like you can't accomplish it no matter what you're doing, or there's just something that's holding you back, something always comes up, take it as this sign that maybe you need to see it from another perspective. Maybe there is something else that you're supposed to be focusing on. It is some kind of redirection that is just telling you to be patient, observe, trust the process. It may not make sense in the moment, but it all comes together in the end. I am very sleep deprived. I'm tired. I'm going to take a bath, do some self-care, get some good sleep tonight, and then I am going to work on this episode tomorrow, and it's something very important that I feel like we need to be focusing on as a society and start asking questions and paying attention. I'm just trying to be the change that I see in the world, and sometimes that involves making really difficult decisions, and I'll explain more in my next podcast episode. But just wanted to give this little update about trusting the process. Life is this unfoldment. Everything that you need is within you. All of your experiences have been leading up to your purpose. The moves that you are supposed to be making, they will be shown to you in time. You just have to have faith. It all works out in the end, even if it doesn't make sense. Anyway, have a wonderful day, night, week, month, year, and life. Remember to be curious, question everything, and most of all, stay sweet, honeybee. Sting when it counts.